So I set out on a journey across the country, collecting, for me, a piece of Americana, license plates, thumbprints of our automobile. Came back to my studio, no idea what to do, and just started welding, cutting, and on the other side of that came out a series of icons, maps, and flags. People responded. Got into a couple galleries. People liked it. They liked the idea of taking something out of context. But there was something missing. There was something I was missing. Put my head down. I spent 5 years working on building this collection and building a business, all the while thinking that there was just a big piece that I was missing. So I set out on another journey, this time collecting larger pieces of Americana, and dragged huge cars back to my studio, 1930s and 40s Fords and GMs, big pieces of Americana. Went to work. On the other side of that came a collection of big roses and abstracts. People really responded. Started showing me bigger galleries. Started selling me pieces for more. All the while knowing that there was something missing. And it took until 2009 for me to realize what the piece was. I received a call from collectors of mine, Muhammad and Lonnie Ali. They were coming to town and they wanted to talk to me about creating something monumental. We met in Los Angeles, and I'll never forget it ever. She said to me, my husband belongs on the side of Mount Rushmore, but we're worried about his legacy. How do we enable kids, my kids, our kids, to experience Muhammad Ali, arguably one of the most important icons in history? How do we enable people to experience him for the first time? And it wasn't just carving him out of stone. It wasn't just putting a big photograph up. It was about portraying him in a new way. I certainly had the story. I had the source, the muse. And hopefully I had the medium. It took a year for me, and I called her back a year later, and I told her I had the idea. Somehow I wanted to take sleeping bags and throw them in the air and have them stuck, thousands of actual bags. And as people walked around, they experienced something abstract. Just the materials, boxing bags, out of a physical context into a sculpture. But no, Muhammad Ali, as you walk around the piece, you have to get to a certain specific spot, 30 feet, 2 inches away, and there his face would come into focus. The bags would be pixels. We love it, Michael. It's amazing. How are you going to do it? And I responded simply, I have no clue. And that in there lay the answer I was looking for, and it was the power of collaboration. I knew if I was going to make a big impact with art, it wasn't about me. The idea may have started with me. And this is a hard thing for an artist. Art is very singular. It's me, it's an artist in the studio, working, constructing, slaving away. And we don't like to share that much. For me to make a big impact, I knew I needed to collaborate. And so I went to work and brought on architects and engineers and fabricators and other artists. I spent 9 months creating Realize. The piece was unveiled in Los Angeles at Staples Center, and the response was amazing. It was humbling. The Alis were there, the families were there, and millions of people came through to experience Muhammad Ali for the first time. What was it? It was the idea. It was the medium, and it was the power of collaboration. Later that year, I realized that this was it for me, that I wanted to make a big footprint, whether it's for an individual or a community or a nonprofit or big business. I knew the power of collaboration was going to get this where it needed to be. So we formed a company called Monumental, which is an experiential marketing campaign company built around experiences through art. Soon after Muhammad Ali, I was asked and brought to my attention actually a disease I knew nothing about through another collector of mine called COPD. COPD, Michael, she said, kills more people than breast cancer and diabetes combined. And I'm going out and spreading the message in order to screen people. Do you want to be a part? I said, of course I want to be a part. Let me think of something that's not a billboard for medicine, not a piece of art, but something else that people can experience first. And so what we did was embark on a journey of collecting thousands of license plates and building a huge map of the United States the size of half a football field. We set up around the country, in 5 different cities, and people traversed this, kind of asking questions, wondering why this was here, what it was doing, to raise awareness for a breathing disorder. I'm happy to say that to this date, we've helped screen over 2 million people for a disease I knew nothing about because they got to experience something that they were familiar with differently. Pieces after that were on again, everything from building a brand around Perrier Jouet to honoring a firefighter who lost 70% of his function fighting fire in Malibu. We wanted to return a gift back to him, so we bought a 60-foot fire truck, took it apart, and gave him back a coat made out of fire jacket. Fire jacket made out of a fire truck. Man, art was doing this. It may have started with me. but there was so much execution and so many people to collaborate. So the power of a great idea, taking something out of context, giving it back to you in a new form, the muse, a great story, but most importantly, collaboration, was doing this. Millions of people were being screened for COPD. Millions of people were experiencing Muhammad Ali for the first time, and so on and so forth. And talk about a scalable idea. If I can do that as an artist, imagine what big business, cities, government, communities can do with the same idea. Taking something that you see every day out of context and changing it around. Taking a great story and letting that be the through line. And most important, collaborating. I think if we can do that, we can all truly do something monumental. Thanks so much.